Let's talk calories. Calories ultimately are energy. They're like fuel for your car. We need to put fuel in the car to expect it to keep running. If you chop all of the fuel away from the car and only put 200 calories a day into your body, don't be surprised to pick up a few problems and probably go into a binge restrict cycle where now we're pumping the body full of fuel a week later because we're drained and empty and really struggling. I want you to forget food, forget calories for a minute. I want you to think money. What you've got is at the start of the week, you've got £1,000 in your bank account, and you want to end the week with £1,100 in your bank account. So we need to put an extra £100 in than we spend. The opposite applies. If you want to end the week with £900 in your bank account, we need to spend an extra £100 compared to what we put in. Now, in terms of calories and energy balance, it's pretty much the same. If we put more calories into our body than we put out, then we're going to gain weight. And this happens slowly over time, typically, as people are pretty solid during the week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes, they wobble a bit. They probably maybe by the end of the week, they've put an extra 1,000 calories in their body than they had at the start of the week. And slowly but surely that adds up week after week after week. And a year later, they've gained 5 kilos. Unfortunately, the opposite doesn't apply, in that if we want to go from £1,000 in our bank account, we can't spend all of that money at once. We can't use all those calories in one go and end up weighing 90 kilos by the end of the week. So what we need to do is we need to manage it. We need to monitor it. We need to play the long game with our calories. What I've seen people do in the past is, let's say this is 1,000 calories. Each one of these represents 100 calories. I've got 10 here. If, let's say, person A needs 1,000 calories a day to maintain their weight, what I've seen people do in the past is eat as little as 200 calories a day on shake diets and different extremes. And as a result, within a week or two, yes, they've definitely dropped some weight. I'll come on to that in a minute, what that weight is. But they're hungry, they're tired, they're grumpy, they're likely ill. And the weight that they've lost isn't probably the best weight that they could be losing. Now, when we go into a deficit, our body is willing to release weight, no problem, but it will only release weight in a good way or a positive way if we control some other aspects, which we'll come on to in another video. What I'm talking about here is our body wants to keep hold of fat and burn muscle. It costs our body energy to maintain and hold on to muscle. So when it's a tight time, when we're spending money on a budget and we're being tight, it's safer to get rid of the fat first than the muscle, because it's costing us extra calories just to keep hold of the muscle. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. Really important to understand. It costs our body energy to maintain muscle, boost our metabolism. You would have heard that elsewhere, I'm sure. So our body wants to get rid of weight. That's cool. It's in a deficit. It's going to do that. But we need to look after the muscle and maintain that. The way we do that is keep our protein high and the stimulus, so our exercise, in the right place to be able to maintain the muscle, which helps our metabolism long term and ensures that the weight that we lose is predominantly fat, which is positive. The benefits of muscle are really simple in terms of health and longevity, so we need to preserve that at all costs. Now, what we could do, like I say, what I've seen people do is just go to 200 calories a day, and that puts them in a real negative place physically and mentally, leads us into this binge restrict cycle. By Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're binging and it's all undone. What I want us to do is, for this person, 1,000 calories maintains their weight. If we want to lose some weight, we're going to drop 100 calories off. Okay, and we're going to monitor that. We're going to keep a real close eye on that daily as we move forward, looking to see those scales move down. We're going to take care of protein and exercise. We'll talk about that in another video. Take that as a given for now. And so the weight we're losing is positive, it's good, it's predominantly fat, happy days. At some point, this energy balance equation will balance out, because now it's costing us less calories to maintain our weight. Because we're weighing less, it's easier to carry this weight around. It's not burning as much to carry this weight around each day. And so now we only need 900 calories a day to lose some, to maintain our weight. Now we've got two options, like we did at the start, but we've got two options here. We can either drop off another 100 calories a day, or we can burn an extra 100 calories a day in another way. We could walk a little bit more. We could exercise another session over the course of the week. So yeah, they're the options that we have there, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. What's key to understand, calories are fuel. Calories are super important. We need them. but we also need to correlate them with our weight and monitor that. There's a couple of key factors to how many calories you burn. Number one is your gender, then your height, your weight, your muscle mass, and your movement and activity. They're the biggest factors in terms of how many calories you will burn. Women, your phase, your hormone levels can influence your phase. Your cycle can influence it as well, but they're the big five really, plus that as an add-on from time to time. So I hope that makes sense. Remember your homework. Give me a shout, any questions, any problems, any thoughts on this, or what your takeaway is going to be from this video. I hope it helps. We can't spend all our calories at once. We need to put them in if we want to keep functioning. And we'll talk more about protein and training to ensure that the weight that we lose is positive weight, not that muscle that we need to preserve at all costs.